Welcome back, children. So today we are in the part 2 of chapter number 6, animating text and object. So in the last class I have showed you how to insert a audio file and how to insert the video file in a slide in a PowerPoint presentation. So in today's content I am going to show you how to create a hyperlink, okay, in the slide. So there are two ways to create a hyperlink in the slide. One is by using the action button and another is by using the text, okay. Now before moving any further, you need to understand what is a hyperlink and what are action buttons, okay. So what is hyperlink? Now what happen is when you access the internet, okay, you will see some of the highlighted text or highlighted images there, and when you take the mouse pointer there, what will happen? Your mouse pointer will turn into the shape of a hand, okay. So it means that you need to click there, and once you click there you will be moved to another page, okay, in the another location. So we call this as a hyperlink. So even the PowerPoint presentation, it has the facility to move or link to the web page, or you may move to the email address, the file, or a slide in the same presentation, or you may move to the slide in a different presentation when we click the highlighted text or image or an button, okay. So we call this as a presentation. So in simple term, we can say that jumping from one page to another page, we call it as a hyperlink, okay. Now next is, what are action buttons? So these action buttons are inbuilt or built-in shapes, okay, that you will find inside the PowerPoint presentation. And using this action button also, you can create a link in the slide, or you may use this action button to perform some other activities as well, okay. Now let us go through the activity. So I have already created one presentation here, okay, and this presentation consists of 3 slides, okay. This slide number 1, slide number 2, and slide number 3, okay. So how to insert the action button? Now you can see that first you need to go to the insert tab, okay. Click on the insert tab. We call this as the illustration group, and under the illustration group you can see a shape button as well. So you can click on the shape button, or drop down menu will appear. From this drop down menu you can see at the last, at the bottom, there is written action button. So there are some buttons are there, so you can choose any one of these buttons to create a action buttons, okay. So let me use this button, and you can see once I click there, the pointer turns into the shape of a plus, okay. Just press the left mouse button, drag and create one action button, okay. So release the mouse button, and once you release the mouse button, you can see a action setting dialog box will appear, okay. You can see 2 buttons here. One is mouse click and another is mouse over. Means suppose if you want to move to the next slide by clicking the mouse on this button, then you have to use mouse click button, okay. Suppose if you want to move to the next slide just by moving the mouse pointer without clicking, see, just by moving the mouse pointer above the button, then you can click on mouse over, okay. So you can use any of this button. So let me use mouse click. Now if you see below in the action on click bar, you will see 2 radio buttons here. One is none and another is action button, sorry, hyperlink, okay. So as I am going to create a hyperlink, so make sure that you select a hyperlink to radio button, and from this box or a text box, you click on the drop down arrow, okay. It will show you a list of options. Now you need to select the option where you want to go in the slide. If you click on this action button, okay. Suppose say I want to move to the last slide, so click on the last slide, okay. If you want to play the sound, then click on play sound checkbox, and you can also choose the sound from here. Just scroll the scroll bar, okay, and as you move from one slide to another, the sound will be played. Finally click on OK button, okay. Now if you want to format this action button, go to the format tab at the top, click on the format tab. Either you can use a shape field from here, you can use or give your own shapes, okay, or you can also go to the shape style drop down arrow and select the shape style that you want to apply to this action button, okay. Use any of this option, okay. Now let me go to the last slide. So this is my final slide, okay. So go there, and I just want to create one more radio button in the one more action button in the last slide. So again, go to the insert tab, click on the shape drop down arrow, okay. From here, go to the action button, choose one of the button, just drag the mouse pointer and create the button here. So again, the action setting dialog box will come. Make sure that the hyperlink to radio button is clicked. Now in this text box, click on the drop down arrow. Now where you want to move, suppose say I want to move to my first slide, so click on the first slide. And if you want to play the sound, click on this checkbox and select the sound, and finally click on OK button, okay. So let me just format this action button. Let me use one of the this shape style, okay. Now run the slideshow, go to the slideshow from the beginning, okay. So you can see my action button is here. Now you can see as I take the mouse pointer in the action button, you can see the pointer turns into the shape of a hand, okay. So it means you need to click here. This is a hyperlink. So if you click here, you will be moving to some other page. So let me click here. So you can see this is my last place, last slide, okay. So you have moved to the last slide. Now again, if I take my mouse pointer here, again see that the pointer turns into the shape of the hand. Means now this button is no more a simple action button. Now this is a hyperlink. So if you click here, you can see you have moved to the first slide. So click here, you have directly gone to the last slide. If you click here again, you will directly come back to the first slide, okay. So this is how we create a hyperlink. Now next, let me insert one more slide, okay. Let me insert one more action button. So click on the insert tab, go to the shape. Let me use one button, suppose say this button, and just create one button here, okay, at the side. Now where I want to move, if I click on this button, I just want to move to my second slide, that is the next slide, okay. So let me see here, here is the next slide option is here. So click on the next slide, click on OK, okay. Now let me go to the next slide here, okay. So let me create one action button in this slide too, okay. So go to the shape options, use one of the shape that you want to apply, okay. Just draw and create a button here. So you can see the button has been created, okay. Now what I want is, if I click on this action button, I will go to the slide in a different presentation. Now see, try to understand it, okay. I just don't want to move within this presentation. Means I don't want to move in any of the slide within this presentation. What I want to do is, I want to move to the slide in another presentation that may be in my device, in my laptop, okay. So for this, what you have to do is go and click on the drop down arrow of the text box. Now just scroll down, you can see other PowerPoint presentation, okay. So let me select the other PowerPoint presentation. Now you need to choose the presentation that is inside your desktop or laptop, okay. So let me see whether I do have a other presentation here or not, okay. Suppose say, okay, I have one presentation here, output device and CPU. Let me select it, okay. After selecting it, let me click on OK button. So where I will go, if I click on this action button, I'll be moving to that particular PowerPoint presentation. Now you can see the URL or the location of the file or a presentation. Okay, so my actual presentation that I am going to visit is in the C drive user depend desktop. Okay, this is the URL or the location of my presentation. Okay, click on OK button. Now let me go to the slideshow once again and run the slideshow from the beginning. So if I click on this button, I will move to the next slide. Okay, see here I have gone to the next slide. Now if I click on this action button, where will I go? I'll move to a new PowerPoint presentation. See here. Okay, this is the PowerPoint presentation. See here, that was in my device. Now what happened is, now I am not moving within the slide in the same presentation. Now I have moved to the slide in a different presentation. Okay, so this is how we can also move to another presentation in your device. Okay, now let me insert one more shape here. Suppose say this shape. Okay, now what I want is, when I click on this action button, I want to move to the Excel file. Okay, so if you want to move to the Excel file, so you need to go and click on the drop down arrow of this text box. Okay, now where you have to go? You have to go to other files here. Now if you want to move to any of the file other than PowerPoint presentation, then you have to click on other file. So click on the other file. Now choose the files other than a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, that may be in your desktop. So let me select a file whether it is there or not. Suppose say this is my Excel file. Okay, so let me click here and click on OK. Again it is showing me the location or the URL where the my Excel file exactly is. Click on OK button. Okay, now let me run the slideshow. Okay, now if I click on this action button, you will see that I will go to the Excel window. Okay, see here, this is my Excel window. Okay, so in this way, not only in the PowerPoint presentation, you can also move to other file as well. Okay, so in this way you can also move to the Word document file by clicking on the other file. Okay, now next is I want to show you how to create a hyperlink by using the text. Okay, now see, let me create this text that is Bluetooth as a hyperlink. So if you want to create the text as a hyperlink, just like the action button, select the text. After selecting the text, go to the insert tab here. Okay, now this time I'll not go to the shape option, I'll go to the hyperlink button here. See, you can see the hyperlink button. So click on this hyperlink button. Okay, so where you want to move? So let me find the file where I want to go. Okay, suppose say I just want to go to this presentation. You can move to the presentation or any other files as well. Okay, so let me go to this presentation, click on OK. Now go to the slideshow. Okay, now run the slideshow. Now you can see that as I take the mouse pointer in this text, see, the pointer turns into the shape of the hand. Means what I have done, I have created this text as a link. So if you click on this text, what will happen? You can see a new PowerPoint presentation has opened. Okay, so in this way, not only by using the action button, but also by using the text. Okay, by making the text as a hyperlink, you can move from one presentation to another presentation. You can move from one file to another file. Okay, so this is how we create a presentation by using both the action button and a hyperlink. Okay, I hope you have understood it. So this is all in today's class. Kindly go through the video and do practice it at home. Thank you, children.